Airport. Tap on the location. It's gonna be 185.
What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And this message is from my brothers and my sisters, my black brothers and sisters who have been bamboozled, been hoodwinked. So, we've been hearing a lot of stuff going around about, police brutality and we're going back to the old school NWA, after police coming straight from the underground, all of that stuff. And we've been hearing about systemic racism. And then, mysteriously, we get people from Black Lives Matter. We get people from Antifa. And we even get some Democrats that's suggesting that we need to either defund or get rid of the police. I got a message for you, brothers and sisters. They don't love y'all. They're not trying to protect black lives. Because what I'm about to show y'all is what really goes on in some black neighborhoods. And then I'm going to show you what would happen if they got rid of the police. So now, just like any good guardian or somebody who even love you, if they love you, they're going to tell you the truth. If they love you, they're going to try to protect you. The worst thing you can do for your child is say you love them, but let them just go ahead and be lawless. Let them just do whatever they want to do, come and go when they want, say what they want, disrespect authority, act a complete fool with no fear of consequences. You're setting that kid up for a problem, for trouble. Even the Bible says, spare the rod, spoil the child. So that means that our system is set up to have some type of discipline. Now, I know that black communities have had a troubled past with the police, coming out of Jim Crow, even up through the civil rights movement, and sprinkles here and there, coming on up. But we done came a long way. We done came a long way. Now, what they're trying to convince y'all of is that these police come to black neighborhoods with the sole purpose of shooting and killing black folks. First of all, if that was true, we'd have a lot more black people killed by the cops than we do. Okay, they know where y'all at. They know where the hood is at. It ain't like they got to go and search for it. Like, all right, where's the biggest amount of black people? No, they know where the hood is at. Secondly, if you actually care about statistics and not emotions and people messing with you and stuff like that, getting on TV, race baiting for a political agenda, you'll find that a high percentage of crime is committed in the black neighborhoods. By who? Black people. Against who? Other black people. So now, they're trying to convince you that we should get rid of the cops. We should defund the police. The cops right now is going to get to that point where they say, you know what? Since this really isn't them trying to help y'all, but what they're really trying to do is attack us, attack the system, attack structure, discipline, use us as a pawn in the middle of a political war by deeming the police to be racist and then champion themselves as the white hats, the ones who really love the police. Well, guess what? If they love black people, if they really loved black people, they wouldn't be talking about getting rid of the police, because guess who that hurts more? Black people. If you don't believe me, I'm about to show y'all a couple clips after we enjoy these clips together. Tell me, what would happen if we got rid of the police? Well, you know what? This first video kind of sums it up. Let's see what happened, because see, lately, the police have gotten really ticked off because they're getting a bad rap. Instead of judging them individually, instead of doing that, we want to go ahead and just say all the police suck. Let's go ahead, demonize all the police. So now, let's check out what the police do when they are sick and tired of being demonized. Huh? Let's check that out, and then we'll talk about it, okay? Yeah. So, there you have it. Now, in this particular video or application, it appears, which I don't know, but it appears that these young black men are shooting, I guess, rockets, fireworks at each other. Last I checked, when I grew up, you couldn't even have sparklers. You couldn't have jumping jacks. You couldn't have firecrackers, let alone having some type of gadget that shoots fireworks at somebody directly. I mean, they would come through our neighborhood and swoop up all of that. I guess they don't think that maybe one of those rockets could hit somebody in the eye, hit somebody in the back, make them catch on fire. Who knows what could happen? But notice that the police didn't even slow down. They didn't even stop. They didn't get out and say, hey guys, you can't have fireworks over here. They didn't even stop to see if these were just fireworks or potentially guns. It's like they didn't even want to know. You know, if they get their eyes put out, somebody catch on fire, burn down somebody's house, it don't matter. But what if it wasn't just fireworks? Would they have done the same thing? See? Huh? I mean, did you see what would happen when the police say, you know what? Is it worth risking my life to get in the middle of gunfights, to come into these inner cities where all this gunfire is going on, these killings, these shootings and stuff like that, only to run the risk of being dragged out in front of the public as a racist, you know, as someone who solely killed a black man just because he was black, ruining the career, you know. Now, let me make my disclaimer. If they are wrong, they're wrong. But just because they're wrong don't mean they did what they did because they're racist. But, you know, when you got a motive, the Democrats and the funding and the donations that come from Black Lives Matter, when you got that motive and that motive is bigger than the agenda for black people, meaning this, the safety, the economic strength, the housing, the education, the black on black lives that get killed all the time. When that agenda is bigger than the real substance to help black people, to where you elevate a bootleg narrative like systemic racism in the police and they coming to the neighborhood just to kill you, that's what you get. You get some people that's going to ride through in the police car and go, hey, what that got to do with me? They wanted us gone. And these people that are victims, all the rest of the folks who's stuck in those neighborhoods because of Democratic policies, they got to deal with the bullets randomly flying all over the place. They got to deal with the gangs threatening them, catching some stray bullets. They got to deal with that stuff. Not all of the Democrats who's encouraging banning the police, knowing that's going to hurt y'all. Yeah, they don't have to deal with that. Not the people who've been hijacked and now being pimped out by George Soros and all these other liberal, you know, entities that's donating towards Black Lives Matter. Do you think Antifa is going to come into the hood and stop what we just saw? I'm just wondering. So who are you going to call, huh? I mean, you going to call your cousins and stuff? Are you going to do that? Because let me tell you this. The Democrats aren't trying to help you economically so you can move out of that area. I mean, Trump had everybody, you know, booming. If you wanted a job, you could have had one until they concoction this whole, you know, coronavirus garbage. But if you wanted a job, you could have had one. We were singing the Jeffersons. Well, you're moving on up, moving on up. Yeah, but the Democrats don't want that because guess what? If y'all move up, then they move down. If y'all move up, they can no longer say, look at the police coming in and victimizing these poor black folks. Ain't that a shame? Them police is wrong for all this. You know what? Let's ban the police and let y'all tear up the neighborhoods and be terrorized by who? The police? No. Other black people. See, so go ahead. Let them talk y'all out of having the police come to your neighborhoods, and this is what you get. Good luck starting a neighborhood watch. But it gets worse. Let's check out the next clip. Wow. Well, did y'all see that? Huh? I mean, where'd that happen? Did that happen in a white neighborhood? Was Was that lady who just got her face smashed in by that skating board? Was she in, the suburbs and some white nationalists came and did that to her? No? Oh, okay. So that was another brother that did that to his sisters? Yeah. He was so mad, I guess, because maybe she disrespected him. Maybe she wouldn't give him her number. This is the mentality in black inner cities that have been conditioned and reinforced and bred and justified and winked at and overlooked by Democrats who run those cities. And they know that these cities and inner city areas like this breeds a lot of the same stinking thinking. They don't have no way out. They look at the fellas who were there on the scene when this just happened. Did they say, hey man, what you doing? Why you just do that? No, they laughed. It was funny. Oh, snap. We got it all on tape too. That's hilarious. You think the poor black girl laying down on the floor, on the ground, if she lived, the way he hit her, he could have broke her neck, could have pushed her nose up into her brain. You think that when she comes to, she's going to be like, well, you know what? That stuff just happens in the neighborhood. I'm not going to call the police because I don't want them showing up because they got all that systemic racism and they just might mess around and end up killing that guy who just tried to kill me. Yeah. That's what's going on? That's what y'all want? But yet the same white liberals, bootleg Black Lives Matter supporters, and ignorant black folks are pushing for the cops to leave, leaving what? This type of stuff to take place in inner cities. And who's coming? Not the police. Oh, yeah, they want to get rid of them. Y'all might as well go ahead and call Tyrone. That's who you're going to get. Call him. Because I'm going to tell you right now, after seeing that right there, that guy, I mean, he deserves the police showing up and giving him one or two of these. In fact, just bring him on to the neighborhood where I'm at and let me get a couple hours in the basement with him. No, man, I want to blot out the windows. I don't want nobody seeing him. We'll have man-to-man talk. That's all. But I guarantee you, when he come out of the basement, he will never think again about hitting a woman in the face because he got an ego that can't take rejection. But that's what y'all want. Get rid of the police, man. Yeah, let it go. Yeah. See, the same people that's encouraging y'all to get mad for nothing and to hate the police, they gonna sit back and watch your neighborhood just implode and be more victims of crime than it already is. So, do they really got your best interests in mind? Hey, let's take another look at what would happen if they got rid of the police. Because remember, they just love black people. And so let's just see just how certain inner cities, they got a high percentage of brothers who lack social skills and are living in democratically ran areas and have been influenced by democratic policies, bad education, government assistance, no father in the home, no subjection or way to expose themselves to different cultures, different areas, to learn some social skills, learn how to go in and interview, all that stuff. Let's just see how they act in the area and see just how quick that the same people that's yelling for, well, you know what? I mean, we need to ban the police. When these type of brothers y'all about to see show up in their neighborhood, you think they're going to be saying ban the police? Check it out. Now, I'm sure there was a reason why they were jumping the Amazon truck and looting. I'm sure that guy pulled up and said, hey, all you black kids running around, I got so much stuff in the back of this truck. I'm running late. I mean, it's going to take me a while to just deliver all this. Can y'all come over and help me get this stuff out the truck? Can y'all do that for me? and take it in? Thank you. As they grab it and run off like this is the Wild Wild West, like bandits. Yeah, but see, you're not going to see that on CNN. You ain't going to see that type of behavior on MSNBC because they don't want to talk about the real issues in the black community. See, yeah, you ain't going to see that. You ain't going to hear all the Democrats sitting there talking about, let's get to the source of the problem. It starts with the broken up homes from our policies. It starts with horrible education. It starts with poor housing. It starts with not allowing them to go to school choice. Yeah, that's what it starts with. Let's go ahead and see if we can address that, because all those things contribute to one that would think that doing this is okay. See, you got to understand that mentality is bred. That's not something you normally just say, you know what? I've been subjected to a society that has rules, regulations. I've been taught that I need to respect the law. I've been taught that I need to work hard and better my situation versus being taught that the man is against me and that there's white supremacy out there and that it's okay to victimize this place, risk my life, because if I get caught, I'm gone. I'm gone. Live in the moment. Live in the moment. That's what I've been taught. So I'm going to go ahead and rob the Amazon truck. All of us. Yeah. No one in that crowd said, dude, nah, man, stop what y'all doing. Y'all stop, man. You know why? Because they all grow up in the same environment. Inner city, democratically ran cities with poor education that locks them in an environment to develop the same type of stinking thinking. But they don't want to talk about that. They just want to get to the end game, which is how can we insert racism in this so we can go out there and pander towards black people during voting time. Yeah, but I got a gut feeling that all those people that's going to be victims when the police just leave and stop policing that area, they're not going to vote for the Democrats anyway. They're doing this to mess with you other black people who are going to go vote. The black people who don't see that they're being manipulated and they're watching all of this stuff and they're like, man, I can't stand what they're doing to my peoples. Not realizing that that's not the biggest issue for your peoples. You know what I mean? So you sitting there buying into this and you're a voter and you're black and they're telling you it's racism all over the place. So, hey, I'm going to go in and vote against all of this stuff because the Democrats, they love us. They're supporting us and they're down for the struggle. Power to the people. Yeah, right. Okay, let's look at some more. At another wonderful example of how many in the black neighborhoods feel about the police. Check out this work of art. See, in this next clip, you find a woman who is giving the police a wonderful display of her creative talents, her wonderful ballet skills, and how flexible she is. A little bit of gymnastics in it and everything. And listen to the people in the background. Let's watch it together, okay?
Fuck it out, sis. 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 I love it. 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 Yes, baby. Yes. Yeah. How does it feel knowing no one wants to fuck you? That is beautiful. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kiss my black ass.
Yes, sir.
Y'all love it.
How does it feel? No one will ever fuck you.
Now, wasn't that just beautiful? Such a work of art. So poetic. So graceful. That right there shows that the inner city black people have been taught to respect the cops so much that she was willing to give them a wonderful show to let them know that she appreciates all of their hard work and their efforts to keep the inner city safe. Yeah, and did you hear the audience behind cheering? They were all loving her. They were like, man, this woman, that's beautiful. She's showing the police how much she truly appreciates their hard work. But this right here is an example of how a lot of people in the inner city feel about the police. Do you think her wonderful display, in spite of appealing to the manly parts of men, really showed these police officers that we appreciate y'all coming here? Or would it more likely make police to say, oh, okay, I see how y'all, you want to think it's funny, right? Yeah, a little jokey joke, she damn shaking her booty in front of me. Okay, when some crazy brother decide to put his hands on her, smack her around, do something like we just saw in some other videos I showed y'all, don't call us. Call the bouncer at the strip club, perhaps, maybe. Call the crew that's behind egging you on and say, hey, girl, get him, girl. Yeah, call them. Call them. See? But, unfortunately, that's how things are looking right about now when it comes down to the way the black community have been brainwashed to view the police. See? And so, what I'm saying, if this was during the times where real civil rights activists like, Black Panthers, they was mad because they were seeing police brutality every day. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, during those days, I could see why the black community would have such a high, feeling of animosity towards the cops. But now, I mean, where that girl was stripping and dancing and stuff all on the ground and stuff, I wonder how many black folks are being shot in her neighborhood, because I'm not hearing about that on the news. I don't know where she was at. Who knows? But nonetheless, not hearing about that on the news. Well, let's move on to the next clip.
What do you do? Nothing. You just walking.
Man, getting off of work, man.
Yeah, you just walking. What do you? What really just? For what?
That's crazy. That man is 67 years old, bro. Like, come on, man.
Well, now, I wonder what made that guy do that. What brought that on? You'd think it was just a spontaneous thought. He's walking down the middle of the grocery aisle, and he's like, you know what? This is old man. I don't know him. He never did nothing to me. But, would it be a good idea? Punch him, knock him down on the ground, just start beating him for no reason. Yeah, I wonder how this black man developed that mentality, huh? I wonder how the young man who punched the old lady in the face in New York and she fell back and hit her head against the fire hydrant. I wonder what brought that on. Or perhaps what about the brother that was posted up in the forest and he shot the old white couple that was visiting the gravesite? Did you think he just woke up with a random thought out of nowhere? Or could it be years, months, and especially the last month or so of repeated race baiting coming out of the news? Repeated narratives that there's this big race war, we're about to embrace any moment now. Huh? You think that might have contributed to all of this animosity? Huh? Do you think hearing Don Lemon get on TV saying that if you are white, born here in America, you got built-in racism. It's greater than you. Do you know what would happen if all the black people were dumb enough to believe that? They probably would go into one of those situations where you're like, you know what? Well, heck, if they all tainted with racism, let's just start swinging on them. Yeah, because see, the man is always lurking. Racism is always right behind me. And all these friendly or older, feeble white people minding their business got it out for me. And I'm going to show the whole world how mad I am about all the oppression and the systemic racism that's running around by punching this person in the face. Now, let me give you a story because, I do that sometimes. Had a cousin, grew up, he had the Napoleon complex because he was short, built low to the ground, for traction, I guess. And his father was short, built low to the ground. And all I can remember when he was growing up is his dad telling him all the time, man, you don't let them tell you what you in the streets, man. Don't let nobody disrespect you. You might be short, man, but you know what you need to. So he's going in, drilling this into his son's mind. Son probably about 5, 6, maybe 110, 15, 18 at the most. Young dude gets into a fight, probably over something stupid. One of his good friends, friends fight, and then they friends the next day. But because that ego, you ain't gonna disrespect me. Dude bigger than him, I don't care, man, ain't gonna disrespect me. Gets punched, falls, hits his head on the curb, just like that. Gone, dead. Now, some people may think that dude went out like a G, but not me. What I see is a young man whose life could have went in a totally different direction if you weren't constantly reiterating when he was growing up that you need to do this and don't let nobody disrespect you, and this narrative that's going around out there, getting that into his head. So instead of him looking at this reason, be like, dude, man, I'm not gonna fight you, my best friend, man, this is silly, we joking or whatever. Now all of a sudden, that chip that old man set up on his shoulder from little all the way up to that point drove him to that. So now, all of this rhetoric we're hearing on CNN, MSNBC, Joy Reid, Don Lemon, Jake Tapper, you name it, all of them. You know, all of the politicians is driving these narratives, anti-police narratives, anti-white narratives. You're going to get these folks in trouble. Y'all out there doing this is no different than the Antifa kids. They went into the black neighborhoods and handed them bricks. That's what you're doing, Don Lemon, when you get up there and say all white people are systemically racist. You're handing young black people who listens to you and believe that a brick to get in trouble. Go throw it. Nancy Pelosi, all of them that's telling folks it's all around y'all, systemic race and police brutality. Okay, hand them the bricks. That's what you're doing. Go ahead and see what happens when the police leave. So if you really love them, I would think you would say, hey, look, let's judge each situation individually. If it appears or it is found that that was a racially motivated shooting or something, we're going to go ahead and prosecute this person according to the law. But what we're not going to do is create this forever divide between black people who need policing in their areas that Democrats created to only increase the crime and violence in those areas because y'all done talk the police out of those neighborhoods. What are y'all going to do, huh? Democrats, y'all going to go in and do it? Y'all going to get the 911 calls? No. What's going to happen is the crime is going to increase. And I'm thinking if I'm a criminal, this is the best PR ever. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Defund the police. Get him out of the neighborhood so I can run it. Now, you've been listening to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. Don't forget, check me out every Wednesday night, 7:30 live, Kevin's Corner. On Facebook, Twitter, well, I'm not on Twitter. On Facebook, YouTube, and my radio blog talk show. But you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and on the Instagram. Links are below. Check out Extreme Tees, my sponsor. If you like their products, click on something, put Kevin in the promo code. You get a 20% discount. If you want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, feel free. There's a link below this video to do that. And make sure you're still subscribed and you hit the notifications and set it to all. We'll see y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. God bless.